We are in the heart of the Gulch, but as you can see, we're not in the studio today. We're at the MCC, the Music City Center, here in Nashville, Tennessee, for CMA Fest 2025 with the one and only Tayler Holder in the building. What's up, bro?
What's going on, baby? Man, thank you for having me, man.
Well, first of all, man, congratulations, man. You are killing it in the streams, dog.
Dude, thank you, bro. We're trying, man. We're really trying, dude.
What'd you say, about 1 million in, what, 5 days?
We did, yeah. We just put out a song called This Ain't You Leavin' on Friday, this last Friday, and we got 1 million streams in 5 days, dude, which is definitely our overall best streaming song and the fastest to hit 1 million. So it's just been so cool to watch, man. It's been such a hard journey getting people, because, I was that TikTok kid, and so getting to people to turn heads at my music, it's been a little tough at first, and every song is getting better, every song's streaming better, and it's awesome to watch it go up and up and up, and it's been a dream come true, man.
Well, it's entertainment takes a lot of forms, bro. It doesn't mean if you're big on one platform, whether it's TikTok, YouTube, you name it, you're still entertaining.
Yeah.
And not only entertaining, you're trying to relate to someone over a screen. Mm-hmm. It's wild, but not everyone can do it. But what's it like now to be away from the screen and seeing the people scream in person?
Dude, that's been one of the coolest things in the world, because obviously I think for any artist, like, their dream is to hear people singing their songs back. I go to so many festivals, I go to so many concerts, and I'm just like, I watch the artist just like drop the mic and everybody just keeps screaming the words, man. And to me, that was like, I want that so bad, and so to be able to not only be behind the screen and, having people watch my songs and promoting my songs and all this stuff, but then to go I just did my own headline run at the beginning of this year.
Come on now.
And dude, when I tell you, man, it was everything more than what I thought it was going to be, dude. It was packed out every single night, and they were all screaming like all my songs, and I was like, dude, this is like the coolest thing in the freaking world,
man.
The
photos look so amazing on your Instagram, bro. These shows and just the energy. It's not easy to see energy come through a photo. Mm-hmm. When it came to that headlining tour that you just did, bro, every photo you posted, I feel the energy in that room,
thank you so much
dog.
for saying that, dude, because that's how it is, man. I was going out every night, trying to. I was also imagine everybody here is not for me. You know what I mean? And it's like, how do I, we always try to have so much fun. I go to so many shows that, like, I'm just sitting back and I'm like, dang, this is getting boring. You know what I mean?
It's because they have songs that, resonate to millions among millions, so they can kind of take a step back. You know what I mean? And me, dude, I don't know why, man. I'm just an entertainer at heart, that whenever we're doing these shows, I'm like, how do I make the people that don't know me fall in love with me? Well, you're hungry too.
Exactly, and then I'm like, how do I make sure that, like, I want to make the people that are in the crowd be like, not only was the music great, but the show was a good time, like, I'm always, every night, I'm like, I'll find someone in the crowd to pick on, I'll talk shit to people, we'll have a good time. It's kind of like a comedy show mixed with the music as well. So I just try to have a good time up there, man, and have them leave and be like, you know what, that was really fun.
I think that's the thing about music that can be amazing, and especially shows, right? Because you're playing here, right? You got the Vibe stage. We
got the Chevy Vibe stage. We got a little small intimate one at Friends in Low Places tonight, and then tomorrow we're doing one for Billboard at Category 10, Luke Combs' bar. So booked and busy, man.
Man, but that's great, because it means that you're doing your job, because a lot of times we can work so hard but truly do not see the fruits of our labor. Mm-hmm. Like, this is my first CMA Fest that we got to do this. It took me 3 damn years to get here, but we're here, baby.
Absolutely,
and
man.
And the thing is, and I'm talking to you, so I think it's important that you take some time today. I don't care where it is in your set, but take a moment and be like, yo, we did this. Like when you guys were waiting to be on the interview here, moments like that where you'd be like, we really killing it out here.
Yeah, dude, that's been one of, like, it's a blessing and a curse, man, but I've always been so hard on myself to, like, never be satisfied, whenever I was doing the TikTok stuff and the internet stuff or the music. I'm like, 1 million in 5 days. Okay, how do I get 1 million in 1 day? It's like, Tayler, pat yourself on the back, man. Like, you're doing everything you've ever dreamed of. And I think that I get in that rotation of, like, moving so fast, and I hit a milestone. I'm like, all right, that was cool. Now, instead of taking a step back and, like, really looking around for a second, you know what I mean? And realizing, like, man, like, God is literally moving every mountain I could have ever imagined. He's providing for me in ways I never could have even dreamed and imagined. You know what I mean?
What's the most, I guess I should say, sleeper song that you got in your catalog that you wish more people would go back and listen to? That's
actually a good question, man. I would probably it's a recent one I put out, but if California fit into Tennessee, I feel like that's just the storytelling in that. It was one of my first songs that I wrote about just a real moment of my life. And now I have, the most amazing girlfriend ever, dude, and God's been blessing me, man. But through this time of my life, I was with this girl for 4 years, man. I genuinely, at the time of my life, I thought I was going to spend the rest of my life with her. And when I moved to Nashville to write songs and do country music, the long distance caused a lot of problems, man. And we were just back and forth. It ended up not working out. And for a long time, I battled with myself, and I was like, why couldn't we figure this out? And now I feel like I understand, because God had a different plan for me, and but in that moment I was like, I couldn't figure it out. And so I wrote a song from the perspective of what it would look like if California would have fit into Tennessee. And so I wrote the song about it. And I was like, man, dude, if California fit in Tennessee, because everything about it, the relationship, it just wouldn't have worked. It wouldn't have mattered. California physically does not fit into Tennessee. It was just like a cool little spin. But I think that's like a sleeper one. It's definitely one of our lower streamed songs. But I think that it's a fan favorite as well. Everywhere we go that we play, that we don't have it on the set list, a lot of people actually ask for it. So it's cool.
What stages get you the most nervous? Is it the stages where you're playing like the Billboard Spotlight, right? Mm-hmm. Where it's going to be maybe under 100, or is it those big crowds where you can look out in the crowd and you don't see an individual person?
Yeah.
You just see the crowd.
Yeah, honestly, man, the smaller ones are way, way more nerve-wracking, because they're sometimes they are sometimes they're super electric, but a lot of the times the smaller crowds are the ones that aren't as rowdy. They're they're the kinds that are just woo, after a song. It's so it's
put your heart out.
So it's you I kind of find these moments, because I'm always trying to crack jokes. I'm always trying to, I'm saying, mess with the crowd. And whenever they're not giving you anything, it's a little hard. So I'm like, all right, on to the next song. You know what I mean? But so those are definitely probably the hardest ones to do. But most nerve-wracking are, I would say, the shows that I'm opening up for people. If I'm going on tour with other people or whatever, because you're playing in front of a demographic that's not yours to an extent. You know what I mean? And you're like, hey, I hope they like the music. I hope they have a good time. And it's just just a whole new world out there. So I'm just trying to figure out how to make them love me,
Last two questions I got. Well, last three. And this next question is going to be one that I'm very curious to know your background on it. When it comes to a lot of music, a lot of people say you got to build by cutting your teeth at these honky tonks. Mm-hmm. Just straight out the door and learn from people not caring to hear your music. It's a little different in your scenario, where you had a platform and you had a whole outlet that was looking for you particularly. So there are artists that say that if you didn't go the other way, you're not, the true artist.
Yeah.
So I want to know your response to that, because I honestly do believe that there's room for everyone, and everyone has their own thing, because what you do, some people could never even fathom doing. So I want to know your opinion on that.
I think that, honestly, I think it's true. I think, going and playing the little dirty bars, man, the dives and all this stuff. I think that from the experience I've had, and I'm still new to this, man, but I feel like a lot of people in my shoes, they come over to a place like this and they're like, oh, bro, I'm already cracking. A lot of these influencers have the biggest ego ever, man. And I was there at one point, dude. And I was, I feel like a lot of people come over here and expect stuff to just be handed to them because they've already conquered a world of something, you know what I mean? And they're at the top of a world. And me, dude, I understand I'm a spec in country music. I understand that, not everyone knows. And that's where my first headline tour, we did that, man. We went and played. They were all free shows. We went and played 18 tin roofs around the country and stuff like that. And these rooms are small. Anywhere from, some of the rooms are 150 cap to some of the rooms were about 500 cap. But the stages are so small, man. And I think that I got thrown into it really early because the platform and the eyes and all this stuff. And I got put on. I think I'd played 2 shows ever in my life before I got put on the Dylan Scott tour.
That gets scary.
Yeah, and we went straight to the Dylan Scott tour, which he was doing about 2,000 to 4,000 a night. And they were all showing up early for us too. So it's I wasn't ready for that.
Yeah, what was that like for you?
It was, dude, it was very nerve-wracking, man. I had no team. I had me and my best friend John, man. We kind of and my mom and my parents, obviously, but me and John have been on the ground, you know, growing this from the beginning. And I have no label, I have nothing. I have John that literally runs my entire life, and that's my best friend. And so, like, we had no idea what we were doing, just trial and error, man, you know, messing up. And that's where, dude, I saw an interview of Jelly talking about it, dude, of like these influencers that are making music, they get thrown on big stages that they're not ready for. And then you see these clips that go viral of them, you know, nervous, and they're kind of not sounding the best on stage and all this stuff. It's like, bro, go play those karaoke bars, go play the little small bars, go play in front of 100 people before you go play in front of 1,000 people. You know, it's like, do those reps that get you polished up, shake those nerves a little bit, you know what I mean? And you're getting out of your comfort zone and going on stage, but it's on a way smaller scale. And I think, honestly, if I had any advice, if I could have done it over again, I would have probably, even though it was the biggest blessing of my life, man, and it's a moment that I'll remember forever, but I probably would have said no to the Dylan Scott tour, and I probably would have taken a couple more shows on my own to really make sure I went out there and put on the best show of my life, you know?
Dude, it takes such power to say that and to notice that. It just means that you've grown so much. And then also, my last two questions here, so I'm not going to hold you too long.
Yeah, nah.
We got imposter syndrome. I've asked this to every single person that's been on the show. And it is, imposter syndrome hits everyone. You, me, the person watching this. Maybe you're a nurse, maybe you're a firefighter. Shout out and thank you for your service. When I think about imposter syndrome, there's that little voice in the back of your head that wants to tell you can't do something. What is the mechanisms that you use in your life to not let that little voice in the back of your head impact you?
Dude, it's something that stems from even when I was a kid, man. I was dude, quite literally all this, man, from where I'm from, dude. I'm from a small town just south of Fort Worth, Texas, called Alvarado, Texas. And growing up, we had about 2,000 people in my town, dude. It wasn't a whole lot going on, man. You drive right through the town and not even know you went through it. So, like, just making it out of that town to be anything at all is quite literally, like, impossible. You know, I think I'm, like, literally the only person in that town that's, like, made it out. You know what I mean? And I think, you know, growing up, I've always kind of like, I have a big motocross background. I have a fighting background. I have all this stuff, but I ended up leaving high school because I got picked on and bullied and stuff like that. I ended up leaving high school and dropping out when I was like a freshman in high school. And everything I did, bro, from motocross or whatever, I started social media when I was 15, dude. Everyone was like, you're not going to do it. It's not going to happen. It's impossible. You're a fucking weirdo. You're this, you're that. And, I've always had, you know, I played every sport I could growing up. I played football, baseball, basketball, motocross, fighting, this, that. I did everything. I was always the kid that beat the odds. You know what I mean? I always was like, hey, how can I go, like, fuck this up in the best way possible? You know what I mean? And so losing and not being able to do something quite literally isn't an option to me. And I made that a thing very young age. And so going into the social media world, going into the music world, whether I ever did it or not, that's just not an option to me. And so it's just about, like, shoving it down their throat, man, and letting them know that, hey, I'm here to stay whether you want to accept it or not, you know. And so
I love that, man. That's that competitiveness that I love, man. I'm the same way. Last question. So we're filming this in CMA Fest. It doesn't feel like we're in CMA Fest because of this room, but we're in CMA Fest 2025. What can the people expect from you the rest of 2025 and upcoming in the top of 2026?
Absolutely, man. Well, first off, we got lots of new music coming out, man. We got an awesome feature. I wish I could say the name right now, but it's one of not in country music, but I'm bringing him over to introduce him to country music, but he's one of the most iconic names in music. So I'm super excited for that. That's I think our next song that we have coming out that we're gonna start teasing soon. We have an EP coming for the end of this year, hopefully, and then just lots of shows, man. We're wrapping up the Post Malone tour here on Sunday in Miami, and we're just, man, booked and busy, man. We're just trying to get more music out there, more shows, everything. So you guys, I'll be posting all over my social media, just at Tayler Holder, and you guys can find it there. But lots of announcements coming soon.
I love that. Well, hey, my name is Tony Mendoza. We're still here in the heart of the Gulch, and I'll see you guys next time. See y'all later.
Later, guys.
That's great. See, hopefully it wasn't the same questions you get asked.
No, dude, no, it was good. I was